Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk a little bit about how I store images for mixed media and collage. The hunting and the gathering is my favorite part. It is very relaxing for me to sit in front of the TV, going through magazines, trying to find that special image, something that inspires me to make a project or a page. It's my favorite part. I just love it. And therefore, I have way too much images. But I can't part with any of my images because I love them all. Um, so when I start, I go through the magazines. It's mostly magazines that I find my images. I go through the magazines, and if I see anything on a page, I tear out the entire page. And the reason I tear out an entire page is because I'll find probably more than one image on each page. Here's a figure. Here's a small little detail, some pattern, maybe some color, and here's a nice little car that would be great in a little collage. So I save the entire page and put it in a plastic bin, a big old bin, and this one's mostly full. It's getting ready for me to deal with it. And then when I've got a lot of pages, that's when I start sorting and organizing the bits from the pages into other places so that I can find them for my projects. So this is where it all starts. Taking the pages out of the magazines and condensing the amount of magazines, and then I can go through and sort by all the things that I sort by. Now, I sort most of my things by size. I enjoy my mixed media, my collages. I enjoy random. So if I put, if I'm working on a certain size of a page, I can go to the images that are about that size, and I can randomly pick something that I wasn't planning or I wasn't expecting. So mostly I do sort by size. I do sort sometimes by topic. Some of those things that I use a lot of, like birds and fish, watch parts, wings, heads, figures, faces, things like that, I will put into certain places so that those things are all together and that I can find them. Sometimes I sort by color, but I'm almost done with my color glue book, and that's about the only thing that I really sort by color. So I won't be sorting by color in the future. Uh, but when I'm going through the images, my eye catches color, so I don't really have to sort everything by color. So this is where it all starts. I put the pages in some kind of a plastic bin, and then when I'm ready to really organize all these pages, then I get out my various different ways that I sort and organize them all at one time. It takes a very, very long time to do it this way. But in the long run, if I can find the images when I'm looking for them, I'm better off. So my number one right now, and I'm going to go through my favorites first, and then at the end, I will show you some of the things that I've tried that just don't really work for me much anymore. My favorite is, like I said, I mostly organize stuff by size. I like these baskets. Number one, the baskets come in different sizes, so I can put medium, largish, and extra large in these baskets. They can lay flat. They're not getting damaged by anything. They're not curling at the edges. They can all lay flat according to how big the images are. And these are not sorted. I'm just showing you the baskets, but they're not sorted correctly. I still need to do that part. So these are the medium, the large, the extra large bits. And I do not have to fill an entire basket with images. This saves me space because I can stack the baskets on top of each other without damaging any of the images inside, and I am saving all kinds of space. I probably will be labeling the ends of the baskets with extra large, medium. I still have a lot of sorting to do and just haven't done that yet. So the smaller images I enjoy putting into these plastic boxes, and I have quite a few of those going. I have different sizes of them, and I really, really like these a lot. These are probably my number one way to store things, especially the smaller images. I do a lot of the small mini books, and so these are really helpful to be able to sort the images. I can put fussy cut images, which is this here, and things aren't getting damaged. I can see through the box and see that these are the fussy cuts. I've got die cuts down here. I've got words. I've got other things. I can see them through the boxes. I don't have to open everything up looking for whatever it is I'm looking for. They stay safe. I'm not losing anything. And I can scooch them around and look and find something for the page that I'm working on. I also sort these by size. I will use, the top layer for maybe 1-inch photos. The next layer will have maybe 1.5 inches. The next one maybe 2-inch pictures, so that when I'm working on a itsy bitsy little project, I can find the small little bits. If I'm working on a larger project and I'm looking for a little detail, maybe a little tiny bird or a little something, I can go to the right size of that I'm looking for and find something that will work for that page. I like this one. This is my small, tiny little image container. These are itsy bitsy little bits. And again, tiny is on the top and it gets a little bit larger, a little bit larger, a little bit larger. So when I'm looking for something tiny, I can find something tiny pretty quickly. So when I am sorting out tiny little bits, I keep a little tin. I have them everywhere. So that when I find something tiny, I have a place to put it so I don't get it lost. But I like to keep them all together. They don't get lost. They don't get damaged. I have a place to find them immediately, and I use these a lot. I use them a lot. So I have them. I can spot them from a distance. So I really like the little tins. So that's the size thing. I mostly sort by size. I also sort by topic. Let me get these out of the way. I only sort by topic when it's something that I use quite a bit, like birds or fish or hats, crowns, wings, something that I use quite often. Let me get these baskets out of the way here. And I do that mostly by envelopes. So these are the smaller images by categories. I hand make these little envelopes. I put the category that I'm saving, and when I am organizing the images, I have this beside me, and it's just easy to flip through and find the right envelope. Put words, birds, fish, watch parts, or whatever. I can just pop them right into the envelopes, and then I can find them when I'm looking for a specific something. I have used the plastic bags. I don't necessarily like them. They sag. They sag and they kind of go to the bottom of the box. And then when you're putting other envelopes on top of them, it damages what's inside them quite often. So I try not to use plastic bags very often. And I also save letters, and I've got an envelope here for every letter of the alphabet. So when I want to spell something out, I've got all the A's together and I can spell whatever I want out. I do like those. Another way that envelopes work for me is, when I am using a project by category. This is my scavenger hunt book, and it is entirely category based. So when I am looking for frogs, I want to have enough frogs to do the page before I start. I like to put large images on the bottom and then work up to the small little ones so that nothing gets hidden underneath. So for something like this, I do sort in categories. If I know that I want to do a page of just frogs, I will sort just frogs out so that I can find them. Or a themed project. I want to do an Alice in Wonderland themed project, but I don't have enough of the elements for that project yet, and I really don't have time to start that project. So when I come across something that might work for that theme, I know that I want to do that in the future. I've got one of these clear envelopes that I can put that piece in. Everything is together. When I get a chance to start this project, all I have to do is get my envelope, and I have a great start of this. So every once in a while, I do sort by topic. Not very often. Only a few things are sorted this way. My Alice in Wonderland that I would like to start someday, and my scavenger hunt or amass book is all categories. So I save these images in these envelopes before I start the page. I like to know that I've got enough of whatever category before I start the page. Sometimes I have a hard time finding enough to finish a page, and then I'm stuck. I can't undo sometimes the page. So I like to know I've got stuff to begin with. And you can find these envelopes in 2 different sizes. They are great for collecting all kinds of different things. I use them as well for my faces. I've got some projects. I want to do some face flip books. I've got 3 sizes started. The signatures are started. And I've got envelopes with different size face parts so that when I start those projects, I've got the images all ready to go. I don't have to sort them out. I can show you the faces here in a second. So let me get this down. So the other things that I would sort by topic, and here's faces. I do a lot of things with faces, and so I've got a lot of stuff sorted. Envelopes by size. I've got a little tray here that's got eyes all cut out and ready to use, so that when I am looking for something, I can just scooch them around and find eyes that will work for that face. I do have the different projects ready to go. I've got the signatures in these envelopes, so that when I am ready to do the 3-inch square flip book. I've got faces ready to go. I've got the signatures. Everything is there. I just have to add a glue stick and I can just start on the project. So, I mean, I keep all kinds of these. And when it comes to faces, normally what I do is I collect them no matter what size. They go in a basket, and I also have a couple. Actually, I think I've got 3 of these plastic containers full of faces. I like the plastic containers as well. I can see through them. I know which ones are faces and which ones are other things. So that's the next one, is the plastic boxes. I like to save ephemera. I use a lot of tickets. I use book text, the illustrations from books. I use foils and packaging and all kinds of stuff. For ephemera and little bits of things that take up quite a bit of space, I really do like these boxes. I can see what's in them, and I've got probably about 10 of these boxes in various sizes. This one's all tickets. I can see what's going on. I can collect them all together, and when I want some ephemera of some sort, I just need to go to the box to get whatever it is. You can find them in different sizes. They've got the big scrapbook paper sizes. You can find them a little bit deeper, or you can do the skinny ones. I really like these. They do take up a little bit of space, though. So those are my number one ways to store things. They're easy to find your images in those kinds of things, even if you're just doing by size, or if you're doing by topic, or you're doing by color. Some people, they want to sort everything by color, and they've got the drawers that have everything of a single color in the drawers. So that would work for some people as well. Let me go through some of the other things that I use. Another one that I use, talking about envelopes, the big scrapbook paper size envelopes work really well too. I do use the images from scrapbook paper, so I like the being able to see through it and seeing what's there. So I know that this is the scrapbook one, and maybe this is the book illustration, and maybe they're large enough so that I can put big images in there, still can see through them to see stuff, to find things like those as well. Another thing that I do is I sort in these binders with the page protectors. This is a little bit more, it's a lot more time consuming. This is one binder that I use for my workshops. I've got some fussy cut images in here, and I do sort by color. So I have a glue book that's a color glue book, and all it is single colors or combination colors on the pages. And what I was doing is I was putting a piece of cardstock in all the various colors and trying to put the same color of images with the cardstock. It was taking me forever to match up colors to sort them all out. So what I do now is I keep the colors really basic. Yellow, orange, red, pink, purple, blue, teal, green, gray. And that way I can put light colors and dark colors of the same, of green, different hues, different shades, all of that, all green goes in green. So when I'm looking for something green, I can go through these and find the specific color that I'm looking for. and not take up quite so much time trying to sort it all out. In here, I also have background images and some other things. This is mostly for my workshops, and I do have things in mind when I am putting the images in these protectors. This takes time to organize this way. It's not as easy as you would think to get a magazine page to go inside one of these page protectors. It takes a while to convince it to go inside. So it takes a little bit more time than I care to spend sometimes. But I do use them to store things so that I can find them again. I do type out these text things every once in a while, like this. And I print them out, and then I tear them up and use them as collage fodder. My family photos and my grandmother's postcards, I make collage sheets and print those out on regular copy paper so that I can use these images in collage. I use my own photographs as well. I make a collage sheet. Sometimes I print it out full size, and then I have them to use whenever I want them. This is family pictures. Here's a full size one of my photographs, some black and white photographs. These I put on a scanner. I put on the scanner bed. I've got a collection of keys and I've got a collection of watch faces. I just placed them on the scanner bed, scanned them. I put a piece of my handmade paper on top of them, scanned them. I can print those out and use them in my collage. I've got these little hands too. Same thing. So, scan some images that are 3D that you can't really glue on a page. Use those as collage fodder. But that kind of thing I keep in the binders, so when I want to use something like that, I can find it. I don't always remember that I have something like that. So my extra special finds when I'm hunting and gathering, and I find something really, really cool that really inspires me, but I don't know exactly what I want to use it with at the moment, I will put in these portfolios. I find these at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They're the same kind of thing. They're a page protector, but they're sewn into the book. And I can put the really special images that I want to do something spectacular with. I can put them in here until I figure out what I want to do with them. So I've got quite a few of these books filled with my precious images, and I do use them sometimes, not enough as I should. And if you're looking for something kind of like that, you can also use the smaller page protectors in the smaller binders, and the scrapbook paper, the scrapbooks with the page protectors, they work too. If you've got one maybe that you're not using for anything, you didn't get that project done, and you've got some pages to deal with, these are great for putting the images together that you think you might use on a single page, and then you've got all your images together. And I do use them that way if I can find that really fast. Where is that? I am not sure. Oh, here they are. So these are my color glue book. It's almost finished. And that's all it is I picked a single color or a combination of colors and to make the entire page. So I've got a few pages left to do. And what I was doing is I was taking a page protector, putting in the color that I thought that I might want to use, And then when I have enough of that color to all collected, I have everything together so that I can take them out and do the page. I have done this not only with the color, but with just regular collage pages as well. These are really nice to hold all the elements for a page that you want together, and it's all organized and ready to go. So I have tried to organize in the hanging folders, the file folders. These don't really work for me. You can't really see what's in there, and the file folders, everything tends to fall out for me. I can't see what's in the hanging folders when you put it in a file folder. The big, the cabinet. I used to try to sort things that way, and I have really gotten away from doing that. And I have tried these envelopes as well. Again, you really can't see what's in there. I really prefer either page protectors or the envelopes that are clear and you can see through. So things that I have used that I really don't like anymore. This is my number one. I really, really dislike these file folders. I used to have one that was large enough for a full magazine page. And I had it completely full of stuff. And it was about 10 pounds. It was a monster. And I found that it was really hard. I couldn't look into the envelope to see what was there. I had to take all the pages out. They would slide against each other, pulling them out. So by the time I got them out, they were all over the floor because they wouldn't just come out. I couldn't see anything. I didn't know what was here. Unless you are sorting something by the alphabet, I am not going to be using anything like this again. I did not like it. Not a real big fan of the file folder things. I will use this one. This one is a single pocket. I do collect background images, things that are out of focus, or like trees and landscapes, things that go in the backgrounds of collage, not necessarily anything with a focal point, but I will put those kinds of things in this. Then I know where to go to find those kinds of images when I'm looking for them. So I will be using this one again. I have used shoe boxes, and in fact, I have a few shoe boxes left to sort out and to change. I used to do everything in shoe boxes. I don't like them anymore. Again, I can't see through them. I don't necessarily know what's here. And when I'm flipping through them, I'm bending them, I'm folding them, I'm trying to see what's here, and it's a hassle trying to juggle things to get out of my way so that I can see what's underneath, and I don't do this anymore. So when I finally empty out these shoe boxes, they will be used for projects. Don't really like the shoe boxes anymore. There's a couple more that I really don't like. Cigar boxes and the tins, again, you can't see through them. It's hard to flip through to find what you're looking for. Don't like the cigar boxes. Don't really like the tins. I used to use these for smaller images a lot. Don't like them. Going on to other things. Another way to store stuff is those photo boxes. You can see what's in the boxes if you're sorting by category and you've got small images. These work really well to sort by category. If you're looking for all birds or all fish, again, these are a nice way to store things so that you can find them. But they do take up quite a bit of space, and they get pretty heavy when you put a bunch of stuff in them. And one of the other things that I do is I store things like stickers, things that have a little bit of body that can stand up by themselves. I will put in a little box like this so I can flip through and find my stickers or whatever. I like to use stickers a lot as images. So I think that is most of what I have, that I use, that I've tried. There are so many more that I haven't tried, but I really like what I'm doing now. I like the baskets. I can put all kinds of different things: security envelopes, book pages, stamped images, tissue paper, napkins, painted papers, scrapbook papers. I can put them all in these baskets, have it right here at my workstation, and stack them on top of each other because they don't take up the entire basket. It's saving all kinds of space, and I still have quite an assortment of all the stuff that's in each basket. It's right there for me to use when I want to, when I need it. Sometimes the plastic baskets, they take up too much space. So it's nice. I like these a lot. And I also, for just general collage fodder, I will use these bags here. But book pages and puzzle pages, scrapbook paper, all kinds of different things inside here. Things get damaged, they get folded and crinkled, and that's fine when it's underneath something else. I don't mind it so much, but I have it here right next to my desk. If I need a little bit of book page for underneath something, I have it to grab. I don't have to go looking for something. I think that's everything so far. Those are my number one loves for storage, and a lot of the things that I really do not like anymore. Like I said, my number one and number two, and I'm not sure which one is which, are these plastic boxes and the baskets. I love those. And envelopes. The envelopes are also way up on my priority list. I really like to sort out my stuff in these baskets. So the other, going just a little bit further with these, you can sort out projects in these boxes as well. So I've got 3 projects in here. I've got images, I've got the signatures that I'm working on, and then I have background stuff. This is all here, ready to go, ready to work on. I can just grab this box, grab a glue stick, and I have got a project or two that I can sit and work on. I don't have to go searching for anything. Everything is right here. One thing I did want to say, when I am organizing images, sometimes I do a lot of glue books. And those images that I save for glue books are just a little bit different than collage or mixed media. When I'm doing a glue book, I want to cover the entire page with the image. So I leave those images square to get to the corners and the edges and things. So my glue book images, I usually sort by size. Again, depends on what size book or structure that I'm using. But I will just gather those square images and put them with the book that I am working in, that they will fit in, and put those in a box or a basket, so that when I go to grab this glue book, I have images that will fit in on those pages. So, but they're square. They're not necessarily something that I would want to fussy cut out, or that are images like for collage or something. So those kind of get separated a little bit too, and glue book images versus mixed media images. Just wanted to put that out there. I think that's everything. I hope this is helpful. Some of these things won't work for everybody. But I hope that there's something here that you hadn't thought about before that you might want to try. It might work. You know, everybody sorts their things differently, and everybody has their own needs and their own likes. So something that works for me may not work for somebody else. I just wanted to show what works for me, what I like, and what I don't like. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching.